Hello, how are you tonight? It's Jackie with Creative Paper Crafting with Jackie, and this is the image I thought I'd work on tonight. I came on a couple of minutes early just so I could check the sound and just check to see how it looks. So I am just logging in on my computer so that I can see the comments. And I hope everybody's having a good Friday evening. I feel out of practice because I have not worked on this on a live now for quite a few days. So anyway, this is the image that I'm going to work on. It is one of the vintage boy images. I think it's just so adorable. And I'm just checking one more time. I think one person's on, which is great. Fine. Anyway, I just think these images are just so cute. I did post a link to let me turn down my sound, sorry. So anyway, let me get my sound turned down. That I'm going to work on. There we go. So hopefully I can see your comments now. Oop. Sorry, my washi tape is kind of getting old, I think. Probably need to switch it out a little bit. All right, so we'll just get started. I'm hoping everybody's having a good Friday evening. I wasn't on Wednesday because my little one is in the hospital, and then yesterday the baby was sick, so I've kind of had my hands full, and I thought that I would skip the Wednesday since the one was in the hospital. So I do apologize for that. Anyway, I am using E00, and I do have a link to the image on my page. These vintage boys images, they're so cute. You know, I did one not long ago on here, and I don't know, I love them. I love the little boy images. And we're going to make this one into a Christmas image. I mean, he is carrying a Christmas tree. So not hard to be a Christmas image, is it? All right, I am using E11, and this is E000 and E00. And hi, Dawn. Let's see. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Fatima. Good evening, Sharon. Oh, I'm so glad so many people have joined in. Actually, I really do feel out of practice. It's kind of weird how just missing, one of your lives makes you feel funny. I'm hoping everybody can hear me okay. I had my webcam hooked up, but I actually think the phone gives it a little bit a better, you can zoom in, and I just think it looks better for some reason. So this is my E11. His face is turned, so I found it a little bit more challenging to do his cheeks, his blush. So I am just using my E00. Yesterday I had a flat tire. I don't know what all could have gone wrong. Seemed like happened. But I feel I'm blessed to have problems because that means I have a full life. So I can't be too sad about it. I went to a luncheon at work. The students that are in, it's not called home ec. It's called something else, but they learn to cook and make clothes and do different things. And they had a luncheon where they prepared the meal, but they each had to invite one person. And so I got invited. So I'm using R20 and R30. And I've worked at the university a long time, and nobody's ever invited me. So I was quite thrilled, and it was very good. So I did make it to my luncheon, but then after the luncheon, I got the flat tire. I picked up the baby and turned the corner from where I had picked her up at. She was with her other grandmother, and had a flat tire. Had to sit and wait for my husband to come and rescue me. So I'm using R30 and R20. So I use R20 as my main color for the blush, and then I go on the outside with the R30. Then I'm going back over with my E00. Let's just try to see if my messages that, I don't know, ever since that update that they had, just scrolls so slowly. So it's really hard to see any messages. It takes a while. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great Friday night and a little bit more success than I had yesterday. But truly, I know I'm blessed because, you know, I could be, you know, lonely, heartbroken, all sorts of things this time of year. And, you know, I'm not any of those things. So I am truly blessed. I'm not really complaining. And the baby, she's feeling better today. And my son is going to be out of the hospital on Monday. So, you know, things are going back to normal. So, thank goodness. And hopefully they stay normal. I'm just using the typical skin colors that I use. E11, E000, E01. And I'm going to do his shoes, and then I'll take off this tape. And I'm just going to check my messages. Yes, it is great news, Fatima. Oh, yes, it's Saturday. I lost a day. It is not Friday. It is Saturday. Normally, I do my lives on Friday night, and I had to postpone it because of my son being in the hospital. So I did postpone it. So, yes, I am off a day. You know, it's the end of the semester. I have to get grades in. I have reports to do. It is just like crazy. End of the semester is crazy. So I have W0, W2, and W4 for the boots. And I love doing my boots in these colors. And then I use N4 as well for the sole of the shoe. And these are the colors I seem to go to when I'm doing shoes. Yes, I did lose a day. Gosh, and I had to work today. I had SATs. So I worked from 7 in the morning until, gosh, we didn't get done until about after 2. So it's a long day for the students who are taking the essay. I do the essay part on the, I do the combo where they do all the testing and then they do the essay. So it's a long day for the students. I feel very sorry for them because they go quite a long time without eating. And I think it's excessive, but that's how it works. And then next Saturday, I am doing ACTs. And it's shorter, a little bit shorter, an hour shorter. So I think it's a little bit nicer for the students. And many of the students take both. You know, it's kind of exciting because they're all excited about going to college. And so it's exciting talking to them and listening to what they're planning on doing. I had 40 in my room, so it was quite a full room. That's why we were there a long time, because it takes a lot to cycle the students in and out. Now I'm using the N4 for the sole. It takes a lot because you have to check them all in, and it's slow going, getting them all in the room and then getting them out. And then during the breaks, you got to check them all back in again. You know, ever since Felicity Huffman and can't think of the other lady's name, you know, they kind of ruined some things on the SATs. I mean, it was already tight security, but it's even tighter now, which is kind of a shame that people pay to get their kids into college instead of letting their children just earn it. I don't think I'll ever be that rich where I will know what that problem is, but sad. Anyway, all the students were so happy. If there is anything you want to know, just put it in caps and I will try to answer. Otherwise, it's hit and miss on the comments because it is kind of hard to watch them as coloring. And I'm just doing W2 for my mid-tone, and then I use W0 for my highlight. And I kind of go back over the boots a couple of times to try to get them the way I like them. Hopefully you can see. Anyway, tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm going to go visit my little one in the hospital tomorrow. It's about an hour away from here. So that's why I've lost a day. I'm a little tired, and I do apologize if I'm rattling on. Okay, I'm going to take the tape off now that we have the boots and his face done, but I'm going to try to be gentle. There we go. There we go. And I just put my tape up and use it again, but that piece I think is pretty much a goner. All right, so that was warm gray that I used on the boots. And now I am going to go with my cool gray for the cuff here. And I'm kind of going back and forth with 2 tones of gray for this little boy. And this is going to be a Christmas image, so I am, you know, hoping in the end that you like it. Okay, so I am using I'm just trying to get the right ones here. Oh, I thought I had a different C. Okay, well, I'm using C2. And this is going to be like my shadow. And I'm just doing it gently on the edge. You know, as you know, I am heavy-handed, so I have to be rather careful. Lily of the Valley. Yes, this is a Lily of the Valley image. And it is one of the Vintage Boys. I do have a link so that to the image on my page. And if you're watching and you haven't liked my page, please like my page. I'm like 10 away from 250. And when I get to 250, I am having a giveaway, a stamp. I'm giving away a stamp. So now I'm using the C0. So I'm giving away a stamp open to anybody, internationally, open anywhere. Going back to with my C2. So 10 away. I have over 300 followers. I don't really know why you have more followers than likes, but I have more followers than likes. If I get 10 more, like I said, I'm going to have a little giveaway of a brand new stamp set open to anybody. And then at 500, I'm giving away a small set of markers, of Spectrum Noir markers, the Earth Tone set at 500. So I have 2 giveaways planned. So I would really love it if I could get my numbers up a little bit. All right, so this was my gray. Oh, my tape, it fell. And I thought, oh my gosh, a spider. Because I am down in the basement. But it was just my tape. So I did jump there for a moment. Sorry, might have made my camera jump. Really, I'm not afraid of spiders whatsoever. I'm truly not. Okay, so I'm going back and forth with grays. I'm going to do his trousers right now. And I'm using blues on that. So I'll get those out and then I'll show you those colors. And I, you know, slowly am building up my Copic collection. So I probably would have liked to have had different blue for this, but this is what I have and this is what I'm using and it's just fine. It works just fine. So I am using B95, B91, and a B93, and then also, let's see, a little bit of BG000, 000. So this is what I am using. So I'm going to take my 2 markers. I like to do this off to the side because sometimes your numbers are deceiving and you think the higher number is darker and it's actually not. And so I just wanted to double check because I was thinking that this was one of them. See, it's very close, but I do think the higher number is darker on that one. But I just wanted to double check. I always keep a paper off to the side just so I can double check. All right. Jacqueline, you're making me want to get my Lily of the Valley stamps out. I do love Lily of the Valley stamps. And I don't know if I said hello to everybody or not. So I do see Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie and Fatima, Dawn, Sharon. Trying to see who all is online. Once my comments scroll by, it's hard for me to see who's online. So if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to ignore you. So I am using the B95. I do love Lily of the Valley. My problem is I love all the companies because I love My Besties. I love Polka Doodles. I love Whimsy. Oh my goodness. And they just had a big sale. I love D's digital stamps, KLM digital stamps, and I do have a little announcement about KLM that I am now a DT for KLM, and we start in January. So I will be having some projects with KLM. So I'm so excited. It's so funny because, you know, you apply to be DTs and sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't. And you know, I don't know, I always take the rejections a little hard, but you get rejected and then somebody else accepts you, and you know, it's kind of nice. So I'm very excited and I can't wait to start. So I'm a DT now for 2 challenge groups, Through the Purple Haze and A Bit More Time to Craft, and then for My Besties and for KLM, which are 2 product lines. So I'm really thrilled. I just, you know, makes me so happy. And I love doing my lives, and I love making cards, so it just kind of all comes together. I love blogging. I just created, I had an account for years on that Split Coast stamps site, but I'm building up my gallery because KLM likes us to use Split Coast stampers, I think that's what it's called, to post. So I'm kind of building up, and then I'm building up my Pinterest because I had a personal account, but not one for my page. So I've been doing that while my students have been testing. I've been sitting and doing that for a few minutes at a time. But now semester's over for my students, and next week is my last week, and then it's Christmas break. So next week is full of doing reports and getting all my assessments done and turning all that stuff in. You know, everything's assessments anymore. It's kind of drives you crazy. Okay. Now I would really like to have had a different blue to use than this one, but this is the one I had, and that's okay. Make do with what you have. Don't go out and spend tons of money on new products. Use what you have. I actually made a little mistake here while we were talking. I was going to do the pants in blue, but that's okay. It's okay. See, get out of practice when you don't do your lives all the time. Okay, I will probably go back over this when it dries just a little bit. So now I am going to do his trousers, and I actually did his trousers. I had done it in blue. Now I've done it the reverse. So I'm going to do his trousers in this warm gray. I'm trying to keep the colors pretty consistent on this one. So we'll do the warm grays. Actually, the warm grays are my favorite color. I don't know why. Let's see. Oh, thank you for posting the link to the DigiStamp. Oh, thank you for the congratulations. Oh, hello, Mia. How are you? Yes, thank you for the congratulations. Thank you very much. And Fatima, too. Oh, my gosh, thank you. I am excited. You know, I think all of us as crafters always kind of dream about getting to be a DT. And so I really am excited. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of feels rewarding to get accepted when you apply. And I actually love my 2 challenge groups that I'm in, Through the Purple Haze and A Little Bit More Time to Craft. And the A Little Bit More Time to Craft one, if you enter, you can win digipapers, which are really nice. So I would encourage you to, you know, to enter, because they have some beautiful papers. So sometimes it's not about stamps and products. Sometimes the papers are just lovely. I'm really bad about putting the wrong caps on, so that's why I was going back in. Because I had put the wrong ones on. Okay, so I'm doing this kind of in reverse because I had his pants were the gray, and now instead, I'm sorry, the pants were the blue, and now they're the gray. But that's okay. That's okay. Now the images for KLM are a little different for me. So it's going to be really fun to work with those images. And I'm already brainstorming. We get our images a month in advance, which is really nice. So you can work on projects and kind of think about what you want to make and practice. And, you know, I just think that's really nice. So I'm really, really excited. I can't show you those images because they do not come out until January. But there are 4 images. And we have to make 2 projects. And I'm going to try to combine some of my images so that I do use more than just 2 images, because I do like to do that. So I'm just going back in. This is my W2 here, and I have W0 and the W4. And I'm just kind of pulling it out a little bit, just sort of playing with my lowlights and my midtones and my highlights, just trying to get my shadows the way I want. So I'm just going back and forth. And you can put as many layers on, you know, your card as you want. You can do 2, 3, whatever it takes. And sometimes even after the live, I go back and work on it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to use the gray on his trim of his coat. Actually, this probably worked out better having the blue up here, to be honest. So I'm not sad that I see all mistakes are for a purpose, so it's okay. So now I'm using my C4, C2, and C1. And actually, it's kind of good. You know, if you make a mistake, then live, then people can see that you can carry on. You don't have to chuck it in the bin. Just continue on when you make a mistake. So this was my C4. Now I'm using my C2, and I'm just going to pull this color out. And pull it out. See, just pull it out. Then I'm going to go back with my C4 again. And then back with my C2 again. And then I'm going to go across with my C1. If you ever apply for DT groups, to be a DT, something that I do is I usually apply for 2. So that way if you get rejected from one, maybe you get the other one, and then you don't feel so bad. It's worked for me so far. And I'm going to go back again with my C2. Okay. And now I'm going to do the cuff. And I'm going to use the same colors on the cuff. I made a little mistake when I was kind of practicing. I thought, gee, this log is kind of off-centered, and then I realized that's not a log, that's his scarf. Sometimes when the colors are just in the black and white, it's deceiving. Let's put it that way. Okay, so then I'm going to go back in with my darker color, my C4. And I'm taking both ends off because these ones, for me, tend to make big blobs of ink, which is heartbreaking when you've been working on an image. There we go. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. All right. I am going to go in and do the tree next. And then we'll do the scarf. I'm doing the scarf last because I'm doing it red, and red really tends to bleed. And so I'm going to do it last. All right, so I am taking a couple of different colors here. Oh, you know, let's see. Let me do his hair real quick, which is E74. And he just has a little tiny hair just right here. So there's no really highlighting it and doing anything. So I'm using the E74 on his hair, just right here. Not a lot you can do with that little tiny bit of hair. Okay, so now let's do his log here. So for the log, I used E23, which is hazelnut. And I want to make sure I just do the log. So it's just this part right here. It is very deceiving because that looks like it's the log and it's not. That's his scarf. And I'm going to do the scarf last. Well, I might do the squirrel last, but I'm not doing the scarf at the moment. So I'm just laying down E23, which is the same color I often use on logs. And this is E25 on fences and logs, that type of thing. So I'm just going in. I'm just kind of going in. Do you hear Kyra? It's good to know that she's feeling much better. And then I'm going to go in with my E74 and put a little bit more. I put it on the outside of these little circles just to try to add a little bit more depth to it. There we go. And there's not a lot to work with this. So then I'm going back in with my E25, just kind of splotching it. There we go. And then sometimes I go in with my lighter color and just kind of do a little bit of just kind of dotting it. There we go. Just give it a little bit of interest there. Okay, so now we're going to do the tree. And the greens I'm using are G17, G03, and G12. And you're thinking, what a combination. And it is. Let's see. I'm just trying to see who else. My messages aren't refreshing, so if you've said anything, I'm really sorry. G17. So does everybody that's celebrating Christmas have their tree up? Because I know not everybody celebrates Christmas. At school, we had an end of the semester party because not all my students are Christian. You know, they come from all different countries and have all different faiths, and some countries are different, and so it was just an end of the semester party. And I posted the pictures, so some of you have seen the pictures. My students, I have them build a tower with balloons. I give them 2 packets of balloons, double-sided masking tape, regular tape, and rubber bands. And they have to make a tower, and whoever makes the tower from the floor to the ceiling the first, they're the winners. G7. And they're adults, but boy, they have fun. It's so fun to watch them. And then I bring in a lot of food. And this year I didn't cook. Normally I cook the breakfast myself, but this year I just bought pre-made things because of the, what's going on with my kids. But they all had fun. And they made movies. Divided them up into 2 groups, G03, and the 2 groups made movies. They wrote their scripts, they acted, they filmed, they presented. It was so good, just unbelievable. So it was quite fun. So is anybody doing anything really special themselves this time of year? I know a lot of you are teachers and volunteers and do all sorts of stuff. So I do a small, it jumped on me. Let me see if I can go back to that message. I do, it's small though, size doesn't matter, laughing out loud. I love the Charlie Brown tree. Oh, one of my co-workers, he's kind of, he's so funny. He always says he doesn't like people, and he's got a cup that says go away. He's the administrative assistant for our department, and has got a cup that says go away. I don't like people. But he puts up a little Charlie Brown tree on his desk, and it's so cute. Very cute. And I don't decorate in class or anything because I don't want to be insensitive to any of my students that, different beliefs. So I'm just going in with my darker green and just kind of dabbing it. There we go. I buy about 3 or 4 markers a month, building my collection. And then very kindly, I've been gifted some markers. Dawn gifted me some markers, and a Christine, that's a follower on the page. she gifted me some markers, you know, that they had duplicates, and so I've been really appreciative of that. So that was G03, G12, and G17. So I add to my collection slowly. So I would recommend to anybody, just add to your collection slowly. You don't have to go all crazy when you're getting your markers. Now I'm going to do his hat, and so I'm going to first go over it with the BG000. I'm going to do his whole hat first, and up, 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 up. I got a blob. Let me see if I can get that up before it ruins my little image. My gosh. This marker is notorious for doing that. I don't know why. It's not even one that I have filled, but it leaks like crazy. It's leaked since I bought it. So I wiped that up very quickly with a paper towel. So if you get a blob, I mean, it's heartbreaking because it can ruin your image. So I'm just going to use this one very quickly. The problem is it saturated into my paper, so now see it's going into my tree. But I did try to get that up as quickly as I can. Yeah, this is a bum marker right here. This BG000 is a bum marker. I don't know why it does that all the time, and I know it, and I keep using it. I wish I would have realized when I first bought it, and I might have returned it. So now I'm using my BG95, and I'm just kind of going over this because I want to make this a bit darker here and a bit darker here, just where you think that it might be a little bit darker. I was watching a video, I wish I could think who it was, and they said if you're just learning, one of the things you can do is always shade in the same direct, you know, like either right or left. Just always shade in the same place. Oh, I think it was this Amy that I follow, and Stephanie was watching her. She's with that seven kids, I think is the site. She said to always shade in the same direction until you get really good at it, and then work on learning to shade in a different direction. And I thought that, you know, that is like really super good advice. So if you feel comfortable doing it on the right or the left, always do that, and then expand once you feel more comfortable with what you're doing, and then do it where it's in the center. So I thought that was really good advice. What I always did and still do is I put like something and I say, okay, that's the sun, and that's how I try to do my shading. But I thought her advice was really, really good, and she's phenomenal. Oh my goodness. All right, so that's the hat. And so now we're going to do the scarf, and we are going to do it in red. And let me get my reds back out. I made the mistake of putting them away. I should not have done that because I had them all ready to go. And here we go. So let me just see try to catch up on the messages. You know, I've never had a Charlie Brown tree, but I do think it would be fun to have one. I used to have several trees, and I don't do that anymore. We don't have enough space anymore, but I used to have, I'd put up about 4 trees, and I used to just love doing that. So this is R59, and I'm just kind of going in where I think it would be a little bit darker. And again, I really wish I had a little bit bigger selection on my reds, but it's okay. I'm getting there. So that was my R59, and now I'm going in with my R29. A lot of times I marry my markers together to come up with colors. So I'm just pulling this, I'm going to turn this. I hope I don't make you too dizzy, because I want to pull the color out trying to pick up the color a little bit and pull it out. And red is a tough color to work with. So you kind of have to really think about when you're using red, because if you go too light when you blend with it, then it's no longer red. So you have to be really careful when you pick out your colors. So R24. And so I'm just kind of pulling it out again, and I am turning my paper. But red is a tough color to work with. It tends to bleed, and then also if you want to keep it a true red, you have to be careful what you match up with it. So now I'm going to do this a couple times. I'm going to go back in again with my R59. And I'm just trying to do a light touch because I am heavy-handed. Just trying to go in again. And sorry, I get a little quiet when I'm trying to concentrate. So I'm pulling it down. Just gently. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with my lighter. See, and I'm going to pull this. Like this. There we go. Like that. So, pretty happy with that. Then I'll go in with my, well, that was actually my lighter color. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of swipe. There we go. So, pretty happy with that. It's a little heavy right here. After it dries, you can go over it a little bit more, and okay. I forgot my scarf down here, so we're gonna do it. Let's see. I'm gonna go back in with this one, which is my R59. And in my head, I had an idea, but then when I sat down here, it didn't work. So I'll show it to you. I wish it would have worked because I really liked it. But I'll have to use it on a different card. I made a little tree that I wanted to use, but the tree, it was too big. Okay, there we go. Now, I have a white jelly pen right here. And see, I've got a little bit too much red right here. So if you just take your jelly pen, you can clean up. So you can clean up your areas that you're not happy with. And because my blue bled, see, it got into my tree a little bit, so I'm just kind of going back in here. There we go. And now we're going to do the squirrel. We have white squirrels here near where I live, which is very unusual. White squirrels are very, very unusual. Okay, so I am using N1, N4, and just a touch of W10. So first I'm going to take my N1, and I'm just going in, and this is not, he doesn't have a lot of markings, a lot of definition. So I'm just coloring him in, like so. Like so. Oh, and did you guys see Gail's live? She's back to doing her lives, and I think she has one on Sunday. So that is so nice. So she's getting moved into her house, which is very exciting. And Dawn is back into her craft room, so she's back doing her lives. So very exciting. And then Priya, she does a lot of videos, she's awesome. Very awesome. And then, let's see, trying to think who else. Oh, Kevin and Sharon do lives sporadically. So, lots of people to watch. But I'm so excited that Gail got moved into her house. Full of sunshine. I love the sunshine in Florida. I just love it. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my W10, and I'm just going to kind of, just very lightly, Just kind of go in, give it a little definition. Oh, my whale just kicked in. Hopefully it's not too loud. Just give it a little definition, and then I'm going to take my N4 and just kind of pull it out a little bit, just to kind of give him a little bit, just a little bit of definition, because I feel like he gets kind of lost in the picture. Then I'm going to go back in with my N1. And then we're going to assemble the card. We have lots of squirrels here in my yard. But in a park nearby, they have white squirrels, and people come from all over the country to see these squirrels. And they are beautiful. Okay, there we go. So there's my squirrel. And let's give him a once over. Make sure that I haven't missed, because I'm notorious about missing a spot. So here's the image. Oh, I know what I have missed. I have missed a spot. So let me get my marker. And I'm going to use C1. And I'm just going to do right here where his feet are. There we go. And make it a little heavier. There we go. So he's not just floating in the air. All right, so there's the image. I just think he's so cute. Actually, this is better because before I had the coat, see, gray, and the hat and the pants blue, and I actually kind of think my little mistake was better. So it worked out. Worked out fine. Okay, so now we're going to assemble the card. Hi, Victoria. How are you? I'm trying to catch people's names. If you haven't liked my page, please like my page. All right, so I am using this paper here. I think it's so pretty. It's just a paper pack that I picked up at Hobby Lobby the other day. It's called Woodland Wonderland. And I just thought it was kind of pretty. And there's actually a Hobby Lobby near the hospital where my son is at, and you can only visit certain times there. So I stopped into Hobby Lobby for a couple minutes and picked up some paper. I'm not using my beloved art glitter glue tonight because I can't get it out. I'm going to have my husband help me clean out the nozzle. Okay, so I am just centering my paper. It's off-centered just a little bit, so while the glue is still wet, I can kind of move it around. There we go. It's still off-centered just a little bit. There we go. There we go. And so I am going to put this here, like so. And I made this tree earlier today that I wanted to use, but it is too big. I'll show it to you. So I'm just putting this here. And then I made a sentiment, and I used, actually this is from the set. This is from this set. The Carolers set. That is an old Stampin' Up set. So I used the Fa La 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 set, stamp. So I just cut it out, see, and I using the same red background. And that's a set that I had gotten on eBay. So there we go. Okay, now I made this earlier today, and I wanted to use it. See, and I colored in all those lights, but it's too big. See, I thought, well, maybe if I slanted him, but see, then it covers up his feet. And then I thought, well, what if I cut it in half? And I was going to ask you guys what you thought about that. If I cut it in half, see, then it would be like that, and then put your fa la la la. So I cut it in half, and then I do have these to add. So I was going to ask your opinion. Should I cut it in half, or should I just leave it off and just go with like this and put these on? So I'll let you vote. I'm gonna see what you guys say. So, hi Jackie. Oh, you had that set years ago? Well, it's new to me because I just, someone anonymously left a large stack of beautiful 6x6 paper at my door. So sweet. Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. But I'll tell you what, I got a package in the mail from Gail, and it was full of stamp pads and refills and paper, and it was just the loveliest gift, and I've already been using all the stamp pads. So when we get gifts from people out of the blue, it is wonderful. It is very wonderful. So Fatima, that is a wonderful, wonderful gift. All right, so what do you guys think? So you vote no tree. Okay, then tree off to the side. I'll use it for a different project. See, I had made the tree and I had cut out snowflakes, but they're just too big. Unless I made a bigger card, which sometimes I do. So I have these and I have this, and that is fine. That's what we'll go with. I also have these, and I thought about maybe using these little trees on it, but you know, it's fun to build the cards together. So I enjoy having your suggestions. So I'm just going to put, I already made my card stock, my card. You know, this is the paper that I had gotten in England. I've shown it many times. I'm going to run out of it soon. I might have to make another trip if I run out. So I'm just making sure that's on there. Okay. And then I have these to put on it. And I do have these, but I don't know if the little green trees might be a little gaudy. I don't know. And I'm going to do another live on Wednesday and one on Friday. And on Wednesday I will be doing a My Besties image, I believe, on Wednesday. I have to look. It's either, I'm doing a My Besties image next week, and I believe it was Wednesday. But it, you know, I could be wrong. It could be Friday, but I was really thinking it was Wednesday. All right, so I'm going to put these on. I need to buy more adhesive. It is nice when we get gifts out of the blue, though. That's for sure. And sometimes I have sent things out of the blue to people. You know, it is nice. My craft room's rather tiny, but I love it. It's my favorite place to be. Okay, so this one is not sticking very well. Let's try that again. Okay. We are getting a Hobby Lobby here in town that will be opening soon. But this is a really rural area, and our stores tend to be teeny tiny, so I don't know if it'll have a lot of craft items or not. One time I went to California for a meeting, and I was sitting at a table with a bunch of young girls, and they were asking me about where do you shop at in this little tiny town. And so I told them we had a JCPenney's, we had a Rural King. We had just gotten at that time some other little store. I think I'm gonna twist. Anyway, these girls said, "So you mean everybody wears the same clothes?" I thought that was kind of funny. That, yeah, I guess if you live in California, you would think that we all wear the same clothes. Happy Mail, yes, that's what you call it, Happy Mail. Happy Mail. Happy Mail is wonderful. That is for sure. One of my students gave me 3 Yankee candles. I thought that was really nice. And another one gave me some cream, you know, hand cream for the end of the semester. She's going back to Japan, so she gave me some hand cream. I actually, I don't know, I don't like that there. I should have brought that down. I'm really bad about putting things on before making sure of where I want them. And this is probably stuck. So let's see. I could just do it. I don't know. Let's do it like that. And then we'll add these. So it's always nice to get little surprises. Before I had all these kids, I used to make bookmarks and things for my students. Bookmarks and cards and all sorts of things. But I just don't quite have the time anymore. Alright, so I'm going to like put that on there. I'm going to do my 3s because everybody tells me that we should be doing 3s. Oh, and I left off. Uh-oh. I left off the green leaves. So what we'll do is we'll kind of stick that close together because, see, I don't have the green leaves. I took it off. I don't know. This one doesn't have green leaves on it either. Some have leaves and some do not. Oh, okay. So I didn't leave them off. It's just some have leaves and some do not. I always add glue because I don't think the adhesive sticks too well. Okay, so maybe down here too, like right in here or right here, or both. Let's just do both. And maybe I should not have done red. Maybe I should have done, I have some white ones. I should have maybe done the white. So there we go. So that's 5. So should I put anything else? What do you think? Is that good, or should I add to it? Let me see if I'm in frame so that you can see. I'll hold it up. Maybe at an angle under the tree. Oh, that would have been cute. Sorry, I didn't see that, Jackie. Oh, so sorry. All right, so I think that, yeah, that's pretty good. I almost feel like it needs something up in here. Maybe, what do you think? Some dots? I do have some stickles. I don't know if I should add. I have some red and I have some green. I have some red stickles that I could add like 3 dots here and maybe 3 dots there. I'll show you what it looks like. Some people, they're so good at putting this down. I don't feel like I'm as good. So see, it's sparkly. I try to do it like that, see? So I could add 3 dots here and 3 across. So what do you think? I'll wait and see. Let's see. I like the red. Okay. So should I add 3 dots and 3 dots to kind of balance it out? So a yes or a no. I'm looking to see. My messages are like so slow. See, what I was thinking I could do is like 3. I don't want to end up using it all up before I use it. See, like put 3 right here and 3 across. So yes or no. Let's see. I don't know. No messages going across. Well, I'll do it. I'll be bold. I'll do it. So I just put like 1. They sort of look like the little enamel dots. Not quite, but sort of. I'll show you something you can do to make them flatten out. And then we'll put 3 here. Just to kind of balance it out. And the red might get a little lost in the paper, but it's okay. There we go. So then if you thump your, see if you thump it, it takes that little pointed end off the top. So if you just thump it, there you go. Then it takes that little, how it has that little pointed end. So I put it down and then you just thump and it flattens it out. And so these are stickles. And I've had these, oh my gosh, probably 5 years. 5 or 6 years. So there we go. There's the card. And I wish my messages, I don't know. I haven't seen any messages for several minutes now. But here's the card. How do you think? It's lovely. I like it. It's pretty. I love these boys. They're so cute. They're some of my favorites. I was trying to see if I have one of the other ones. If I do, I'll show it to you. I don't know if I have one. because I gave some of my cards away. Let's see if I have any made up here, and I'd show it to you. No, I bet I'd given those away. Yep, I must have given them away. Oh, here's one. Here's one. See, here's one that I did. So, see, it's the same little boy. I just think they're so cute. I love them. So, anyway, thank you for joining me tonight, and I will be back on Wednesday night and Friday night. I'm going to go back to my schedule of 7 o'clock, and Gail does on Wednesday night, she does 8, and I will make sure that I am only 45 minutes long, so that way nobody misses Gail. So I will keep my live to 45 minutes on Wednesday nights. So I probably am not doing a besties because I can never get done with a besties in 45 minutes. It takes me much longer. There's so much detail. So on Wednesday night, I'll be doing something different, but on Friday, I'll do a besties. And I thought I would keep to that schedule of Wednesday and Friday night. So thank you for joining me. And if you ever want to comment on something that you want me to do, I'm glad to take suggestions. Just put it on my creative paper crafting page. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will talk to you later. Good night.